A spider always looked simple to me. 8 legs, a tiny body, it builds a web, catches a fly, nothing special. For most of us, they're just household pests or the subject of a phobia. But once I actually started digging into how a spider works, everything changed. I didn't expect to find a creature this over-engineered, this efficient, and frankly, this bizarre. We are talking about an animal that has conquered every continent except Antarctica. There are species that can literally fly, drifting through the air on strands of silk like tiny electrical parachutes, crossing entire oceans. There are spiders that live entirely underwater. There are spiders that look like ants, bird droppings, and even flowers. The deeper I went, the more shocked I became at how much I never knew. We treat them as monsters, but in reality, they are biological masterpieces. They are walking hydraulic machines, chemical warfare experts, and architectural geniuses. To understand why the spider is the ultimate survivor, we have to look past the fear. We have to look at the engineering. Spiders are 400 million years old. Let that sink in for a second. That is older than dinosaurs, older than trees, older than flowers, forests, or anything we would recognize as a modern landscape. When the first ancestors of the spider crawled out of the water, the continents were barren rock and primitive moss. And here is the first thing that usually surprises people. Technically, a spider is not an insect. Saying a spider is an insect is like saying a human is a shark. They are fundamentally different blueprints of life. Spiders belong to an ancient lineage called chelicerates. This group split from the insect line over 500 million years ago, back when life was still figuring out how to survive on land. While insects went on to develop 6 legs, antennae, and wings, the chelicerates took a different path. They kept 8 legs and developed 2 main body segments, the cephalothorax and the abdomen. Because of this ancient split, spiders actually share their roots with some creatures you might not expect. Scorpions, horseshoe crabs, and ticks. Yep, those are their distant cousins. But we have to look at the Attercopus, a proto-spider from the Devonian period. These early pioneers didn't have spinnerets at the back of their bodies yet. They had silk spigots underneath their bellies. They didn't have venom yet. What they had were simple fangs called chelicerae and a body plan that was being beta tested on dry ground. They were hunting in a world of giant ferns and enormous arthropod prey. Some of the earliest spider fossils, like Idmonarachne from around 305 million years ago, had features we don't see in modern spiders, like segmented plates on the abdomen and possibly a short tail. These were evolutionary prototypes. But what truly set spiders on their path to dominance wasn't just their legs, it was the development of 2 revolutionary inventions that would change the course of natural history: venom and silk. Let's talk about the weapon first. Venom is one of evolution's most elegant solutions to a fundamental problem. How do you safely kill something that is bigger, stronger, or faster than you? But here's the twist. Research suggests that spider venom didn't originally evolve for killing. It evolved for digestion. Spiders are external digesters. Unlike us, they can't chew. They can't swallow distinct chunks of food. They need to drink their meals. Early spiders had digestive enzymes in their gut, just like most animals. But at some point, millions of years ago, those enzymes began to be produced in glands right near the fangs. When injected into prey, these enzymes started breaking down tissue externally, pre-digesting the meal before it was even consumed. Over eons, nature refined this cocktail. Some of these enzymes mutated into neurotoxins. Instead of just dissolving tissue, they started disrupting nerve signals, flipping the off switch on a victim's muscles almost instantly. This gave spiders an enormous advantage. They could subdue dangerous prey without a prolonged fight. And this isn't just one type of venom. It evolved independently in multiple spider lineages, creating a massive chemical library. Tarantulas developed venom optimized for insects and small vertebrates. Widow spiders evolved latrotoxins that specifically target the nervous systems of larger animals. The funnel web spider in Australia produces a protein called robustotoxin, which by a complete evolutionary accident happens to be incredibly lethal to primates, including humans, while being harmless to cats or dogs. But the most terrifying aspect is the liquefaction. In many species, the venom acts as a biological acid. A spider bites, waits, and the prey's insides turn into a nutritious soup. The exoskeleton of a fly left in a web is basically just an empty wrapper. The spider has vacuumed out everything else. Some species have even turned this chemistry into anesthesia. Certain tarantulas inject compounds that numb the prey's senses, preventing the victim from struggling while the digestion begins. Others use venom that hijack muscle control, forcing prey into a rigid paralysis while they remain fully alive, fresh food stored in the pantry for later. If venom was the weapon, silk was the shield, the home, and the trap. Spider silk is arguably the most sophisticated material in nature. Pound for pound, it is stronger than high-grade steel. It is tougher than Kevlar. It is more elastic than rubber, stretching up to 40% of its length without breaking. Human science still struggles to replicate it perfectly. We can't farm spiders for silk because they are cannibalistic. They eat each other in close quarters. So we are left to marvel at how they do it. Inside the spider's abdomen, liquid protein is stored in glands. As it is pulled through the spinnerets, a change in acidity and physical pressure turns that liquid into a solid fiber instantly. It is a biological 3D printer. But here is where it gets extraordinary. A spider doesn't just make silk. A garden orb weaver, for example, is like a walking utility belt. It has up to 7 different glands, each producing a different type of silk for a different job. Dragline silk, the safety line, incredibly strong. Capture silk, stretchy and coated in sticky glue. Aciniform silk, used specifically for wrapping prey mummies. Puriform silk, the cement that attaches the web to a wall or tree. The spider switches between these glands mid-motion, weaving a composite structure that is an engineering marvel. Take the Darwin's bark spider. It sprays silk into the wind to create a bridge across rivers. Its webs can span 25 meters. That is the length of 2 city buses. Its silk is twice as tough as any other spider's, capable of absorbing massive amounts of kinetic energy without snapping. And they don't just use it for webs. Bolus spiders spin a single thread with a sticky ball at the end. They release pheromones that mimic a female moth. When a male moth flies in looking for a mate, the spider swings the sticky ball like a lasso and strikes the moth out of the air. Water spiders, the Argyroneta aquatica, use silk to build diving bells. They spin a dense web underwater and fill it with air bubbles brought down from the surface, creating a permanent oxygen tank so they can live their entire lives submerged. But the most incredible thing about silk isn't its strength. It's that spiders use it as an extension of their own brain. Scientists call this extended cognition. A spider's brain is tiny, but its web is huge. When a spider sits in the center of its web, it isn't just waiting, it is listening. The web is under tension like a tuned guitar string. When a fly hits the web, it creates a specific frequency. When the wind blows, it creates a different frequency. When a male spider approaches to mate, he plucks the strands in a specific rhythm to say, "Don't eat me, I'm a suitor." The spider can feel these vibrations through slits in its legs called lyriform organs. These sensors are so sensitive, they can detect movement smaller than the width of a hydrogen atom. This means the web is acting as a sensory organ. The spider thinks with the web. It knows exactly where the prey is, how big it is, and if it is dangerous, all without seeing it. Research has shown that if you alter the tension of the web, the spider becomes confused. Its external brain has been tampered with. Many orb weavers rebuild this sensory interface every single day. They tear down the old web, eat the silk to recycle the proteins, reclaiming roughly 90% of the material, and then build a fresh web optimized for the current humidity and wind conditions. It is temporary architecture, a disposable computer built to solve the problem of, how do I eat today?
If you take the web away, the spider is still a physiological marvel. Let's look at their movement. Spiders do not move like we do. Humans have flexor muscles to pull a limb in and extensor muscles to push it out. Spiders have flexors, but they lack extensor muscles in their main leg joints. So how do they extend their legs? Hydraulics. They pump hemolymph, their version of blood, into their legs under high pressure. This forces the legs to straighten. When you see a jumping spider launch itself 50 times its body length, that is an explosive release of hydraulic pressure. It is construction equipment principles, miniaturized and biological. This is also why spiders curl up when they die. When the heart stops, the pressure drops, the flexor muscles contract, and the legs fold in. And then there is the vision. Most spiders have 8 eyes, but for many, these are just motion detectors. However, the jumping spider, or Celticidae, has evolved something akin to a telescope. Their 2 large front eyes have moving retinas inside their heads. They can scan a scene while the spider stays perfectly still. They perceive depth through a process called image defocus. They compare a blurry version of an image with a sharp one to calculate exactly how far away a target is. This allows them to calculate 3D space with a brain the size of a poppy seed. They also have ears all over their body. Not ears like ours, but thousands of specialized hairs called trichobothria. These hairs are so sensitive they can detect the change in air pressure caused by a flying insect's wing beats from several feet away. They can literally feel sound. We used to think of spiders as mindless automatons, just following a genetic code. But we are finding out that isn't true. Meet Portia, a genus of jumping spider that hunts other spiders. Portia doesn't just attack. It plans. It performs reconnaissance. If it sees a target web, it will study it. It might take a detour, moving away from the prey to climb a rock and drop down from above, holding a mental map of the terrain in its head. This is trial and error thinking. This is strategy. We're also seeing adaptation in real time. Evolution didn't stop 400 million years ago. As humans pave over the world, spiders are changing. We're seeing orb weavers in cities building webs near streetlights because they have learned that light attracts moths. They are modifying their circadian rhythms to hunt when the lights are on. Some species are becoming synanthropic, meaning they have evolved to live almost exclusively indoors with humans. The house spider in your corner has likely never seen a forest. Its natural habitat is your garage. Climate change is driving them too. As the planet warms, tropical species are moving into temperate zones. Their ranges are expanding. Spiders have survived the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. They survived the ice ages. They survived the Great Dying. Barring a total planetary collapse, they will likely outlive us. So the next time you see a spider in the corner of your room, try to suppress the urge to squash it. You are looking at a 400 million-year-old success story. You are looking at an architect, a chemist, and a hydraulic engineer all wrapped in a tiny 8-legged package. Right now, I'm trying to push the production quality of these documentaries higher with better visuals and deeper research. It takes a lot of time and resources to put these together. So if you enjoyed this journey into the microcosm and want to see even bigger films in the future, your support means everything. Thank you, truly. And until the next one, stay curious.